Welcome back to another episode of the Block Runner Podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, Iman.
What's up, dude?
On the sticks, we got TJ.
Hello.
And we're back, dude.
We're back.
We've had a podcast posted in one day, recorded in one day, and posted in the same day on Monday.
That was the Heroes.
Today,
our conversation with Superfan, very enlightening.
That's right, yeah.
Pretty badass. So
today's Saturday, if you're watching this.
Yeah, since then, a blockout has occurred. If you don't know what a blockout is, that's when one of these DMT UNAT or NAT deployers, discovers a pattern, leverages that in their token deployment structure per the framework.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. And now there's a new digital asset with a non-arbitrary existence. Right. So what does that even mean? I mean, it's a whole new approach and model to manifesting digital creation, meaning like it's not just spun up out of thin air, right?
Yeah.
It's tied to something with real hard tangible value. That something is called Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Why does Bitcoin have this understanding of real hard tangible value? Well, it takes a little bit of understanding of physics, right? And you're probably like way better explaining that than me.
Dude, physics is everything. Did you know that we're more than just a YouTube channel? We also built Mscribe, the first inscription platform built from the ground up for the metaverse on Bitcoin. Connect your Bitmap ordinals and use our tools to bring your community into the virtual realm. Support us by joining the movement at mscribe.io. Like, comment, and subscribe for the latest alpha. Back to the video.
Physics are pretty important, right? So yeah, the fact that DMT is kind of like extrapolating onto the importance of physics and bringing some of the primitives of what physics enables in our physical reality into the digital space ultimately is one giant experiment, whether or not that results in us furthering the progression towards like a true digital existence layer as like the metaverse is described to become, right? So yeah, that's a quick, that's a lot. That wasn't even very quick. That was like a long way to explain a blockout. But yeah, that means somebody who went through with that activity, all those mints were harvested essentially.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. Yeah, so that was a 4,032 mint. Superfan is integrating AI. He has this like huge workflow with AI using Stable Diffusion, and he's able to plug in like different large language models to have different kinds of outputs. And some of the stuff that he showed off, like Augies, like augmented humans, look very cool. Like that's my style, dude.
That is absolutely your style.
Yeah, man.
Cyberpunk.
If I could upgrade myself in that way, I would.
Yeah, I even asked you the question, like, would you do it if it meant you lost the entire perception of the feeling of touch, right? I guess the sense of touch.
A fifth sense?
Yeah, would you still become like a metallic being?
Well, for sure.
For sure. That means I can't like rub you no more, dude.
No. Whoa. God, that was supposed to be private, dude.
Well, that means nobody can rub you.
That's on the other channel.
That's on the Patreon. Is that what they say? The paid channel. But you know what I mean. It's like you no longer feel the pleasure of touch, whether or
right.
not.
But I increase other kinds of senses, right? I have like I can zoom in. Yeah, with like my upgraded eyeballs,
like see-through walls,
walls, yeah.
And you can like bench press 1,000 pounds,
easy.
So it was like
I could do that today, but
so like fuck intimacy in all of its all of its like emotional.
That isn't the only way to have intimacy, though.
How do you have mechanical intimacy, dude?
Conversations,
just like rub cogs.
Cogs.
Whoa.
It's like cog on cog action, dude. I don't know, but I see your point, but also I don't know. I like to preserve some of our core features of humanity.
Old school thinking, dude.
Maybe, maybe I'm just.
You gotta use Neuralink. That's the only way this is gonna work.
Well, Neuralink is like one of the baby components of this like cyberpunk.
I know, but that's like step one.
Yeah, I know. Okay, but so yeah, you would actually go full blown machine if you could.
Yeah, you never played Deus Ex back in the day.
No,
you missed out. But they had augmented humans.
Correct.
And the whole point was like you like progress in this RPG and you just like upgrade your guy and they gotta jump 3 times as high.
Yeah,
you can see through walls and stuff. It was great.
That sounds great, right? So in other words, Superfan fucking nailed it on like capturing the will demographic, the people out there that play Deus Ex. Is that what it's called?
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
Yeah.
And enjoy all things future, right? But that's
Right.
not it. There's a wide spectrum of like classifications within the heroes like ecosystem, right? They're not all like future cyberpunk.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Augies specifically, right?
The Augie is correct.
Which are the human augmented,
Yeah.
or are they all like the classification?
I don't know if they're all human, but they're human-esque.
Right.
But they have like mechanical upgrades.
Oh, okay, so then they are.
And they get airdropped if you have 4 heroes mitts.
Yeah, so those 4 heroes is basically like your team.
That's right.
So that's going to be part of this like unknown future, right? Because the outcome of events is determined non-arbitrarily through block patterns, right? That's kind of like another one of these major experiments. Like, well, what does that actually do? Years down the line, right?
Right.
It's interesting, right? It's proving a whole new model as far as like telling a story, playing out a timeline, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most interesting part about this whole thing because it's brand new. I don't think we've seen AI storytelling in this way before.
Not at all.
And
not that I'm aware of.
And the way that we're doing it with like UNATs is, even more cool.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I didn't see it at first. I don't know. It was a little.
That was weird to me, dude. I don't know how you fade AI, but
I didn't play DSX, dude. That was the problem. I should have played more DSX, and like AI would make more sense to me. It would resonate with me a little more strongly, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But for you, it was like instant match made in heaven, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could just when he first told me about it, I could just see the vision. Like I could just tell.
Yeah, so you were right. You were right.
Again, dude. Say that again.
No, I'm not gonna do it now. After you like demand it, dude. I gave you organic. I gave you organic.
I meant the word again. You're right again.
Dude, just take the flowers, dude. God damn it. Fucking hey, dude. But yeah, okay. It was a block out.
Correct again.
Yeah, AI is actually a big fucking deal.
Yeah, so that's the 4th blockout using privilege authority from track. So we had the Royals, we had MDV, we had NatBats, now Heroes.
Yeah, man. So the momentum's still there in the DMT space. Creators.
And they said Ordinals were dead, dude.
A lot of people are saying that. But DMT is clearly not dead.
Definitely not dead.
It just gets more and more interesting as time goes on, right? Just because, like, I mean, I don't know how many times we got to reemphasize this. This is like the actual only new space that we've identified. Just so happens to be like we had some contributing part of this,
right?
But we didn't develop Heroes or the Royals or any of this other stuff, right? We just simply put out an idea that's resonating with very talented individuals who are running with it and like iterating, killer products from my perspective, right?
Yeah,
which introduce like new things to talk about, right? Otherwise, we're just stuck talking about things that have already occurred on Ethereum, right? Like, who wants to do that? I mean, they're important things, but fuck, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a new thing is called pump.fun.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you can talk about that though.
Well, yeah, that was a Solana thing, but yeah, apparently every chain needs a pump.fun. People are actually saying like that is the next OpenSea. I don't know. Maybe we're making a massive
pump.fun's the next OpenSea.
I've literally seen that sentiment. It's like that is the OpenSea of this cycle.
I will bet against that.
Fuck, dude. I feel like maybe we're like just completely misinterpreting what's happening. I don't know.
Well, yeah. If any of you watching, if you have like a fundamental breakdown of the value proposition of pump.fun on every chain, I like to hear it.
Yeah, I think that's actually worth. Yeah, if you want to come on, let's have a podcast, full blown podcast. Shit, if you're out there, pump.fun creator, come on our podcast and like convince us, dude, because I want to know.
It's like, bro, it's just fun.
Yeah, I guess it's like you guys are just lame.
That's why it's called pump.fun. Yeah, it's because you guys are millennials.
She's probably one too. Whoever made it, most likely.
Yeah.
All right.
I say that because I don't know if you saw the tweet by Jake. He was like, "Finally, everything makes sense. Like the Zoomers are chasing the meme coins, millennials are creating podcasts and building infrastructure.
Wow.
And the Boomers are finally shilling Bitcoin and telling traditional TradFi to buy Bitcoin.
Mm.
And it's like
That's like the whole
that's
picture.
yeah, that's the
like
whole thing. That's what's
happenings.
happening in the ecosystem.
Interesting. Well, I mean, yeah. What do you? Zoomers can't do shit, dude. Like,
Yeah, I know.
they're still like
they're
going
taking,
to college and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're going to their job, making whatever, a few dollars an hour, and then putting it into pump.fun and hopefully become millionaires the next day. It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. It's fine. Yeah. That's actually a good thing. That means crypto and Web3 is actually like fulfilling all age demographics, right? We got that's what he's saying basically. It's like, we got a product for all of you out there.
That's right.
You got like stupid joke tickers, for you kids out there. Take a break from your Roblox session, dude, and like, come speculate. Oh my god, I just fell out.
Are you serious? You had one job, dude.
I got distracted by the
You had one job.
No,
Good luck.
Okay, well, while you introduce what we're actually supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, nobody knows what you're even talking about right now.
No, they will.
I know.
They will.
Wait, what? Yeah. So speaking of, we had some family come over, and there was a lot of kids here. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to someone in kindergarten, and he was showing me his tablet game on Roblox.
As people do. Right. Okay.
And I was like asking him questions to understand, like, what is this big craze on Roblox?
Was that the first time you've ever
No. I mean, okay. I've seen it. I've never actually like interacted directly with Roblox just because it's not. I don't know. I got other things to worry about.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
And so I was watching him play, and what was interesting is like as soon as like he was in there playing for 60 seconds, bored, went to the next experience.
Yeah.
And it was just constantly that. Like there was no progression.
No need.
There's no like connection to like the experience of the server.
Right.
And it's more about like just give me dopamine.
Well, that's from the user experience expectation of a 5-year-old, you said? Okay. Of a 5-year-old, yeah, I wouldn't expect much depth as far as like,
but what was interesting?
User journey from
he
a
was
5-year-old.
He was manipulating a first-person shooter like nobody. Like it was easy. Yeah.
That's a testament to the developers like in that ecosystem, right? They know how to build some
I think it's more of a testament of the plastic mind being able to adjust to the interface.
Yeah,
because I remember when I first handled the first-person shooter, it wasn't on a computer. I think it was Halo, that first-person shooter on a controller.
Yeah,
and so that was like the first time that someone nailed an interface properly.
Yeah. I'm still struggling here, but
I knew it.
Well, you're right. I mean, Roblox. So why are we talking about Roblox? Because I mean, it is touted as like the killer implementation, I guess, of what people are labeling as the metaverse, right? So, I mean, we've been following this. Are you laughing at me, dude?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I can see you struggling on the other screen. You're not even close.
Yeah, you're not even close.
You're not even close.
I'm trying my best here, guys. Don't scoff at me.
I can't wait to show this to everybody.
Okay, well, I might have to pass the sticks on to you, dude. I don't know. I've been trying here.
I thought you were a gamer, dude.
Dude, I feel like, look at that. See how high I went?
It's not close enough, dude.
How do you get?
You gotta actually dunk the ball.
I don't understand. I'm just gonna sit here and struggle for like an hour, dude, unless you get me on there, dude. Or maybe I don't even really need to. I'm below you, okay? I'm just gonna stay down here. Just look down.
I mean, I can't look any further down.
Really? You can't look at your toes?
I cannot. No.
I cannot. No. All right, whatever, dude. All right, let's get back to the topic on point. Right. Let's recenter this. So okay, so we started off with heroes, right? As another critical showcase of like DMT, but a lot of the origins of like what has got us to this place obviously started with the metaverse.
Right.
In our
5 years in the metaverse, dude.
Yeah, we've been on a 5-year quest as far as like trying to figure out what is it going to take to actually get us to a sensible, even like a starting point into the right direction where we're going to like the end result of that starting point is, a potential multi-billion-dollar, even maybe multi-trillion-dollar digital economy, as like some major institutional firms have predicted.
Yeah, I've seen anywhere as high as 30 trillion, by the way.
Yeah, see, like the T count gets higher and higher and higher
It
over
does.
time. So we keep wondering and postulating, is like, what root of information are they like peering into?
Yeah. To predict $30 trillion.
Yeah. So like, what's going to happen between what's happening now and
I think
to that point, right?
I think the way that we rationalize $30 trillion is it's today's internet, which is like multiple trillions, could be, tons, thousands of hundreds of trillions could be, right? But it's today's internet except in 3D. And that's how you get $30 trillion.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's simply what they're extrapolating from?
I think so.
I mean, it could be. But I think they're also factoring in like the actual in-game economic reports of like Web 2 games, right? It's like this new generation is spending a lot of capital on these goods that they don't even actually own, right? So,
right.
Whether or not they're actually factoring in Web3 technology is probably like one of the components of what they think is going to result in the metaverse. But yeah, we have a much stronger opinion on that because it's absolutely essential, right?
Yeah.
As a primitive to building out like a metaverse infrastructure. So yeah, we started that quest 5 years ago, roughly, in Decentraland during like its alpha stage. It was one of the more attractive projects in the crypto ecosystem to us.
Right when COVID started.
Well, a little bit even before. It's like we were tinkering around in Decentraland's like beta or alpha stage where, they're giving tools to creators to kind of like build out some stuff, right? And so we immediately jumped on that opportunity, started building out what now is called metas, right? The first functional applications that are deployable in a metaverse, right?
Right.
Peer back into those days, dude. Like what
were you thinking?
Yeah. How did we even like get into that?
Well, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, our history with gaming. It's like the reason why we're able to predict this future is because we understand the connection between our time spent in a video game to the ultimate outcome of being like no returns, right? And so what if people were going to spend time in an ecosystem where they do get a return on their time investment? And so it's like, well, we have blockchain technology, we have programmable money, we have digital ownership. Like those are the requirements to be able to fulfill something like that, right? And so it was easy for us to predict that the metaverse is going to be a big deal. And then like a year later, Zuckerberg changes their name to Meta, which is the thing that we've been talking about forever, which is, the metaverse enabled tokenized application. But, and all of a sudden there was like a metaverse mania for about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's where all of a sudden the awareness completely shifted. And now this like idea that was kind of like a funky off the radar like concept back then became part of like everybody's mainstream like perception of like something that could be on the horizon, maybe not. It's still in debate whether or not there's like a functional utility of it, right? Very reminiscent to like the early days of the internet, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like people discovering the internet for the first time. There's like David Letterman talking to Bill Gates. He's like, tell me about this internet thing, Bill. And he's like, well, it's a whole new communication layer and a way for human beings to connect across the globe. He's like, well, I mean, haven't you heard of radio, Bill? It's like, haven't you heard, like the post office does a pretty swell job out there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, what do you,
we don't need any of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was the sentiment of that time, obviously. And I think the metaverse kind of deals with the same.
Bill was so right.
Thing. Yeah, Bill was like $100 billion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is like the whole, I guess, potential spectrum of what we're dealing with here, right? With the metaverse. Like, it's not clearly obvious where this thing is going to go, but there's tremendous potential here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There's like another point to mention. So while we were in Decentraland and kind of dealing with all these like Web3 metaverses, Mark Zuckerberg changing their name, all this interest, and then pretty soon after, all this hate about the metaverse. I mean, hate doesn't really mean anything. It's just the public's reaction to like the concept of the metaverse. But then, they enjoy movies like Ready Player One, which is like all metaverse all the time.
Yeah.
so much metaverse in that movie that people would rather live in like shacks, but don their like headset so they can like earn money.
Yeah. Well, it's not, maybe that's just like
They,
they only showed like one part of the like
they did.
the
Like,
human scenario of that time.
that's true. They did.
But I feel like that's actually accurate. Like that's part of our thesis of like, well, what the actual metaverse unlock is.
Shack inbound.
No, there's actual like people living in shacks, dude, out there. I don't know if you're aware, right?
Yeah.
There's a large
That's true.
our economic system doesn't encapsulate every human on Earth.
It doesn't. You're right. About
There's
maybe 2 to 3 billion.
Yeah, not even half of humans on Earth have like real access to that.
Correct.
Out of a pure, just unfortunate geopositional location, right?
Yeah.
That's just something that's assigned to you at birth.
Yeah.
Yeah, no say in the matter. You just plopped up so in this simulation at a specific coordinate within our physical realities, like
in this simulation, yeah,
our environment, right? So you got to deal with that. Whatever the consequence of that is your life, right?
Yeah.
That is the framework of like your existence.
You know what the crazy thing is that the people kind of unfortunately born in these like geolocations that don't have this economic access, they don't even know better. They don't even know they don't have access to this. They're completely oblivious, and they lack the awareness because they just don't have access to information.
Well, the awareness is obviously increasing now because like internet is like a ubiquitous tool.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's cheap now. The devices to access the internet are.
Yeah, you can be in the middle of the Congo and still have access to the internet now.
Correct. So yeah, now it's like the situation is it's very highly, people are aware, right? There's a disparity within like humanity, like our civilization, right? So so what's a potential solution to that? Obviously AI automation is going to contribute potentially, depending on how like governments kind of regulate and manage and, you know, determine like how to properly, you know, ingrain this into our societal molds, I guess, you know, because, you know, corporations are the ones that build these things, but governments ultimately decide, you know, one way or another. It's like, you know, what can and cannot be done, right? So nonetheless, that is a potential opportunity on the horizon.
Yeah.
But this metaverse thing too, like in our opinion, that is like the ultimate value unlock. People ask us in these Twitter spaces, like, why are you doing this? Why is the metaverse a big deal? It's like, you know, why aren't you focused on, you know, JPEGs and memes and stuff?
Yeah, right.
The metaverse was a last cycle narrative, dude. You're potentially wasting everyone's time, right?
Yeah. So I forget who it was that came up with the concept of like oscillation in cryptocurrencies. And there's only a handful of cryptocurrencies that oscillate. All the other cryptocurrencies, they go up and they go down and they stay down. Oscillation is like just goes up and down, but it's pretty consistently a market cap, right? And so we believe the metaverse is going to be that. There's going to be oscillations here, right? As the first one is down bad, but it's not down and out.
Correct.
Right. And so that's what the metaverse is. It's a new sector of development, a new frontier.
1,000%. Yeah, and that's why once we discovered Bitmap, so this is like our more recent, like how we ended up here.
Yeah.
Our more recent, like current events, right? Bitmap introduced something new that we haven't seen before, like in our years of metaverse experimentation and exploration and stuff.
Our job is to see everything.
As much as we can.
Yeah.
There's no way we can see everything, right? But we try our best.
Right.
Well, every now and then something like really sticks out. It's like, holy shit, this is like a new potential paradigm or something.
Yeah, we've only had a few of those like events. Like, the one I remember the most is BitTensor.
That was a big one.
Bitmap. What's another one?
I mean, the metaverse itself. Like,
well, but
you're talking about like recently or what?
No, just like in general, like the big, huge realizations. Like this was a big deal.
I mean, we knew NFTs were a big deal before most people did.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, I remember having those conversations like early days, like.
Yeah. Also DeFi too. We knew that was going to be a big deal.
Yeah. Before,
but we found DeFi when there were 0 tokens.
Right.
I was like, there's no point in talking about this. There's no way for like anyone to like get involved.
Yeah, like as we know in Web3, tokenization that is the community alignment like force to get people actually interested in
Yeah.
participating in these decentralized, ecosystems, right? So that was kind of like the reason, I guess the thesis is like until the DeFi space kind of like gets into that
Right.
mode, then it's probably largely going to be faded. And we were right. It was faded until all of a sudden Compound and MakerDAO and
Yeah, they
all
launched
these-
their tokens while we were messing around with the metaverse when nobody cared.
correct.
And
Yeah.
we missed the whole DeFi thing because we were distracted.
Interesting parallel, right? It's
Yeah.
like, so metaverse gets faded. I wonder why. I wonder if it's missing something like that DeFi was missing.
Yeah.
And once DeFi incorporated this hidden gem of Web3 into their like ecosystem design, all of a sudden,
Yeah.
DeFi is the big breakthrough, right?
Right.
It's called tokens,
Yeah.
tokenization of valuable protocols.
Right.
Once that happened in the DeFi space, I mean, it was again another paradigm breakthrough, right? So the metaverse has never really gotten to that inflection point. Nobody has figured out like what is the optimal way to tokenize the value of a metaverse, right? I mean, the attempts have been made at the land layer, but not at the content level, not at the application layer.
Yeah,
right?
I agree with that. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So that is largely what we've been trying to bring into the equation, right? With metas.
Yeah. So we have tokenization of land. We have tokenization of like a fungible token to represent the land itself. But now we need tokenization of applications, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Which is metaverse enabled tokenized applications.
Yeah.
Right. Metas.
Correct. So that's like so we've talked about BitmapOS in the past, right? It's a development stack to build content specifically for Bitmap, but with certain core principles in mind, right? Functionality to its most maximum ability, right? The same way an app on your phone, it's highly functional, right? There's a reason why we spend a lot of time on our devices.
Yeah.
There's a reason why when we browse the internet, like the sites that we end up spending the most time on, they're very functional, right?
Yeah. YouTube.
TikTok.
Twitter. No, not TikTok. Twitter.
Dude, I spend a lot of time on TikTok.
Do you really?
No, I don't. I'm just kidding.
I didn't think so. Dude.
Right. Well, but a lot of people do, is my point.
Sure.
Because these are good apps, right? These are good web apps. So
And all those apps have one thing in common. What is it?
oh my God, why do you do this to me, dude? I hate when you put me on the spot with like the most like unknown answer to a question. Like
What is it that we believe in that's gonna help build the metaverse?
oh, the apps? They're all apps.
Well,
they're all built by devs?
right, but who's using those apps and what do they do on those apps? They create
Content.
That's right.
Oh God.
User generated content.
Oh, dude. You don't know how much that stresses me out, dude.
Got through another one.
got me, dude. But you're right. Yeah. So the content application layer, right? So
Yeah.
we've got to devise a necessary framework for that as well, right? So that way we don't have just scattered content implementations.
Islands. Those are called islands, dude.
Silos, islands, whatever. But what that ultimately doesn't produce is like an app layer. Like you need an application layer that's like ubiquitously adopted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And with that application layer, there requires a framework.
Yeah.
So that when people build, they build with that framework so that it's easily deployable and functional within environments that support the framework.
Correct.
It's pretty easy.
No, it's not. It's very uneasy, right? But so nonetheless, so this is what we've been working on, right? Behind all the things that we've been rolling out all the last year with DMT.
Yeah, we don't really sleep at all.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know. Will has this like concoction next to him.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that keeps
my
him.
green juice.
Is it green?
It's green.
It's purple or like gray. It looks like sludge, dude. It's like literally Matrix sludge, you know?
I would eat that, dude.
You are eating that, like actually. But that's what's keeping you alive. Like in the absence of sleep.
Yeah.
Is like this overload of nutrients, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's the only way you're going to make it, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't like food, really.
God. Drew was like a bigger red flag. It's like, I don't like food, like period. But yeah, dude. So yeah, we've been working a lot. So let's introduce some of the new stuff, right? So DMT is in like in a semi-mature space. Like when I refer to DMT, I'm talking about the protocol itself, right?
Yeah.
As we've talked about in our recent videos, Benny has been doing a fantastic job at extending tap in like functionality, whatever, right? The tap ecosystem's headed in the right direction. So all that simply means is what you can produce within the DMT space can also leverage these tools to become that much more functional and programmable, right?
Right.
Big fucking deal, especially in the context of everything we just said about the metaverse, right?
Yeah. So I guess the best way to introduce this is to start with a land distribution event.
Yeah. So Bitmap, we need a way to build communities, and Bitmap has a built-in mechanism to do that. It's called partial distribution, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of people spend a lot of time in Twitter Spaces, and it's just a fancy way of saying a phone call with a bunch of people.
Yeah,
which is cool,
but
not as cool as spending time on a phone call, but in the metaverse, interacting with all the things that people can create and deploy on their land.
Yeah,
and so we figured that land distribution event would be a necessary primitive of a technology to get out there so that people can create these virtualized communities.
Correct.
And so you can imagine that this blockpad in the vision of this particular bitmap, this is that bitmap, by the way. Like this is the actual bitmap, right? In these like selectable squares.
Yeah.
And once people own these parcels, then we can make an update to where they can edit this actual square, put an image on there of whatever they want.
Yeah.
And now showcase like, this is my land. This is what we're going to do here.
So this is going to function the same way as the blockpad, meaning like whoever is initiating this land distribution event, it's going to be an accessible platform within Mscribe, and people are going to know like when this thing begins, right? So
yeah.
If you haven't experienced a DMT UNAT mint or whatever previously, you're not familiar with this like new minting experience, right? But it is like a shared multiplayer thing, right? So that same experience is going to be translated for Bitmap.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Yeah, so we've had to kind of redo a couple of things with this technology only because for a bitmap, in order to parcelize, you need to parcelize as a child inscription of a bitmap. And so that uses a kind of a different architecture to roll out those inscriptions. So we have to redesign a couple of things, but ultimately the experiences should be the same. You click the square, you mint the square, and then you get an idea of like that same experience that you had with the original blockpad.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a competitive environment in a sense, right? Because depending on how many people or like what is the purpose of this individual bitmap, who's behind it itself, right? I mean, that's the unknown variables here, right? It's just this is another introduction of a tool where now anybody has like the ability to like generate demand for a land distribution event, right? It's kind of similar to like we put out the tools of DMT, and people came up with good products and good ways to generate market demand, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be having any blockouts for any of these mints, right?
Agreed.
Yeah,
and so so we're thinking about limiting it to 2 per person or per address. And we really strongly encourage people who have knowledge in JavaScript and HTML to acquire some of these assets and actually jump in and start building content in their world. So with this mint, you'll be able to jump in and see your neighbors, start meeting everybody. What we'll probably do is once this event occurs, after a few days, we'll do a Twitter space. And we'll all jump in at the same time, see if we can break the thing. Part of it is to understand the limitations of the environment that we created and start optimizing for platformatizing this whole feature for all bitmaps.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we want the community because we understand, not anybody who purchases like a parcel or even a bitmap has any like interest in building anything, right? We know that because we're familiar with the metaverse. The same thing happened in Decentraland. The major majority of the developer bandwidth, which
That's
is
right.
the land itself, was in the possession of non-builders, right? Non-developers.
Yeah.
People who couldn't write in JavaScript and HTML to do anything, right? So
Yeah.
there was a big problem there.
Mm-hmm.
That was the trilemma that we identified in Decentraland, right? It's like, why is nobody coming to Decentraland, right? Why is it a
Right.
vast land of like just green space, right?
Or builder content as
Yeah, Decentraland had like static 3D things you could just like plug and drop into your space, but I mean,
snooze.
yeah, nothing. Yeah, no one's gonna come and hang around your 3D stuff. Like that does nothing, right?
Right.
just like no one would go to a 2D web page that doesn't do anything for you, right?
That's right.
They might come visit it and be like, "Oh, that was cute. You know, that's a cute little web layout. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
web page layout." But if your web page isn't like,
Changing and updating and giving you new information.
yeah, serving me a utility, a purpose, whatever,
Yeah.
whether it's like entertainment or financial or whatever, I'm not going, right? So the metaverse is largely in that state, right? Where it's like there's no real reason
Yeah.
to go to anybody's environment, right? Or
Right.
parcel.
Yeah. So now we're gonna but I still encourage people who know how to use HTML and JavaScript to acquire these assets so that we can be together, we can figure out some limitations, work together on like what we can and cannot do in this environment.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, we know that not everyone has those capabilities. And we're also creating a framework, which is something we created in the past already, but that allows any developer out there to leverage someone else's land to deploy content to.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And so as a landowner who doesn't have these skills, you can grant access to a developer to build that content. And then if that content, say, generates money, you would be able to share that revenue with the landowner, the content creator.
Correct.
So
this literally means like you could deploy just like entire game ecosystems or whatever, like with by just creating a suite of individual content apps, right? You know, one might function to extract some non-arbitrary commodity from like, you know, the individual parcels. Another one functions to leverage these where the users can inject these into a crafting mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one might function to, you know, spruce up whatever was produced there. It's like, now I want to add enhancements, upgrades, yada, yada, yada. These are all components of like an overall cohesive cross-communication application network, right, within this metaverse environment. So
right.
This has been done before, and it will happen again in these Bitmap OS environments.
It has to happen
because
think of the land as the developer's bandwidth. And developers want to build where there's traction, community, people, volume of transactions. They want to build for that, right?
Yeah.
And so not every developer is going to have land, and then not every landowner can develop stuff on their land.
Correct.
And so we need to merge those two. And so granting development access is a critical part of this whole thing.
Yeah, and this is how you foster like the best community alignment, right? Is when you bring all ecosystem parties together, landowners, developers, the users themselves, whatever. Just everybody is playing some part within like the construction of this whole. In this example, this bitmap, right? Which this one, how many parcels are on here?
4,012.
Okay, 4,000 parcels. So I guess we need to give some context here. It's like, okay, come land distribution day, you know, I mint one of these squares, right?
Yeah. I was gonna get to that next. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like, what's actually being minted here, dude?
Yeah. So you're minting these parcels. They're gonna be child inscriptions of a bitmap, and then it's like, okay, so I minted. Now what? So now I have a parcel. It's like, am I all of a sudden cool?
Yeah.
So what do we do?
Yeah. Do I have to wait for like 6 months or a year for like something for me to jump into?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good. I'm glad you said that, dude.
So as soon as you mint, you'll be able to jump into our environment.
Yeah.
Called the NATRIX.
But you can see me still struggling.
You're struggling, dude.
Still
you
struggling.
can't even get on this like platform. It's
crazy.
crazy.
I almost did it right there.
That's crazy.
That would have been perfect timing, but it didn't happen because I'm inferior.
Obviously.
Well, but yes, so this is the landscape of a bitmap, actually true to its non-arbitrarily generated form, right?
Yeah.
Represented in 3D space, right? So
Yeah. So this bitmap, I mean, what you're looking at, the environment is the real bitmap. It's the exact same thing.
yeah,
Like it's literally, as if you jumped in and like you're literally running around in this space.
do you happen to know which of these squares we're actually on right now?
I think we're closer to the center, so
Okay.
we're somewhere here.
Well, imagine we're there.
Yeah.
This is a pretty sizable parcel, but actually not really. This is like mid-tier. There's some massive, the 8x8s and the 7x7s.
Yeah. So let's kind of run through this. So follow
Okay.
me.
All right.
I think we're gonna go this way to see if we can find that 8x8 because it's 8x8 is gigantic. So we're talking about like a large square meter
Yeah.
of like space to build on.
By the way,
So-
we're in NatCat, uniquely generated NatCat
Oh
avatars.
shit! I
by the
forgot
way.
about that, dude.
Yeah.
Look at your laser beams are like gigantic.
That's right. This is actually an
TJ, that was your line to say. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
TJ doesn't say things like that, dude. TJ's way cooler than that, dude.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving TJ flowers too, dude. Just like
Appreciate that.
Just like Superfan did, you know. Dude, TJ, you deserve all the flowers, dude.
Nah, stop it.
So check this out.
Just speaking of that, I think Superfan he's gonna do something like he's gonna incorporate our likeness into some of those heroes, right?
I don't know, maybe.
Potentially, and I think you're gonna be in there too, TJ. But nobody knows what you look like, so
Oh no,
It's
I
just-
think you might be masked.
yeah. So just know if one of your
that'll be cool.
that is cool. One of
Yeah.
your heroes is like some masked like Anon. It's
Yeah.
probably TJ. Yeah, dude.
All right,
moving on.
So check this out. So this is a 1x1,
Yeah.
right? So these are going to be on the less expensive side, right? And then this is a 2x2. But notice this 2x2 is not just a simple square of this. It includes the street space here, right?
Mm.
So you do get a little bit more square footage in this 2x2.
Mhm.
So here is a 3x3.
Mm.
So now it's getting much bigger. So this is plenty. This is a lot of space.
Yeah, I would say so. You can do a lot with
All
this
right,
amount
so
of space.
keep
for sure.
following me. So let's see if we can find that 8x8.
Oh my god, dude, this is gonna be.
So this was a 4x4.
You're really good at just like
Oh man, I got experience in the metaverse, dude.
yeah. You definitely have your depth perceptions like already registered in here. You know, you're just like fully aware.
Here's another 4x4. And let's see. Hopefully we can. So what I'm doing is I'm heading north, allegedly,
Mhm.
and then west of like hitting the end is going to be the 8x8. So
Okay.
let's see what this one is. So I think this might be a 7x7. So this is a 4x4.
Wow.
Let's continue
So,
going.
I mean, this one's already pretty big, but
Yeah.
yeah, I doubt we're gonna stumble onto it. I mean, maybe we will, because I mean, these bitmaps are pretty.
They're
vast.
huge.
They're actually very large.
Yeah, this is plenty of space. Plenty of space for like a huge community to build something like impressive.
Yeah, so we're gonna release, I guess, the details, the more granular details as far as like what is the actual space, dimensional space, right,
Yeah.
to build out within a parcel. But I think overall, if you're familiar with Decentraland, I think you get like more space, right, per parcel
Oh, 100%.
within this environment.
Yeah, so you get about the same space of a single parcel in Decentraland that you get here. It's
Right.
about the same,
Mm-hmm.
but you get significantly bigger if you go bigger.
Right. Of course, yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah.
All right, so I think let's see. I think one of these. So this is one. I don't know. Let's go west here.
Damn, dude.
I might have gone south. I don't even know, dude.
Oh man, there's no North Star yet, dude, in the sky.
Not yet.
In the skyline. Damn it.
I could have easily gone the wrong way.
Okay, well,
But you guys
Get
are
the
getting
point.
the idea here. So this is a 3x3.
I mean, we're gonna be in here like more often anyway. So,
It's a 4x4.
yeah, the next time we record one of these, we'll for sure make sure it's on like the 8x8, right? Because there's only one that exists.
Yeah, there's one 8x8 and one 7x7.
That's why it's as you can tell, pretty hard to find, right?
Yeah.
It's quite the scavenger hunt here to sift through 4,000 parcels to find
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
out of the 4,000,
Yeah.
right? Okay, well, my fingers are tired, dude. I can't run no more. let me just take pause.
My fingers are tired. I can't run anymore.
Dude, that's
only in the metaverse.
Exactly. So you get it, dude. Well, I guess only in like the metaverse minus VR.
All right.
Well, what? Yeah, VR is gonna be what? It's like
well,
depends.
The other thing I did was I ran from one side to the other side. It took me about, I want to say almost 2.5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, just like straight running.
I completely lost you. You're gone. But you continue on your own, I guess. So leave me behind.
Yeah, we definitely didn't go north, dude.
It's all right.
For sure.
Okay, well, the whole point of this was just to kind of like really convey the translation attempt of like, you know, the actual, again, the DMT manifestation of like a bitmap and its a layout to the 3D environment, right?
Right.
That is like the bare bones, very like starting component of like the MVP of what you would expect, right, when you purchase a bitmap, right? And then you're thinking like, so what is this actually going to turn into, right? Everybody's telling me this is going to be the metaverse on Bitcoin,
right?
So like, what's the next step, right? If you see all these parcels in the bitmap, wouldn't you expect to like see these parcels somewhere within that environment?
Yeah,
would you?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm asking you the question, dude.
Yeah, no, I think you would. I would expect that, yes. And not only that, I would expect to be able to build on that parcel that I own.
Yeah, well, that's whenever things start to get more like up in the air as far as like how that's going to work. So everybody gets their attempt, right? If you're a developer building within this ecosystem, you know, you get to propose your individual stacks and frameworks and such for building content, right? So there's absolutely nothing wrong with what Inscribe.space has done. You know, fully on-chain approach to building out content and stuff in the metaverse, and but it doesn't follow within like what it is that we think is going to result in again an optimal user experience, right? Where people are visiting these parcels, these lands, and they have a real reason to stick around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keyword there is retention, right?
Yeah. I'm realizing that we went west instead of north, and now I've gone south.
You're never gonna find it, dude.
And it's on completely on the other side.
You probably should have planned this out a little bit better, dude.
Well, I got turned around when I was trying to help you get the get on top of that building.
Oh,
compass in the next update, right?
Exactly. Then I'm so glad you said that, TJ, because that is the whole point, right? Once these parcels are distributed, that's where like the community like building process begins, right? People are gonna intuitively request that feature, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I can never know which direction I'm headed.
Yeah.
This is kind of frustrating. You're kind of like showcasing that right now.
Yeah. Here's how I know I'm in south, right? Because look at this like empty space here, right? And guess what this like area kind of looks like, right? If I go back here, you go all the way to the bottom, all this empty space. I'm like probably over here now.
Yeah, you are.
Watch. Like, I bet you this.
There's a big one.
So we have a big and then a tiny and then a big one, right? So I'm right here.
Are the big ones the same size? Probably.
Let's see. Here it is.
There it is.
That's it. I'm right there.
So where are you trying to go?
I'm straight north.
Oh my god.
This way.
Dude, just wow, you whiffed.
Yeah, so the big 8 is over here. So
right on it, Will.
So I'm gonna turn left. I'm over here, and I'm gonna turn north, which is left.
Okay.
Wait.
So
I'm actually just gonna go straight that way.
All right, I guess we got some more time, so might as well, dude. Go for it, dude.
Just missed it, huh?
Yeah.
Can we get like the Rocky music playing, like as Will tries his heart out to like arrive at his destination?
It'll only take me 2.5 minutes, full speed, dude.
That's exactly how long the Rocky song goes on for, dude. It's like Eye of the Tiger, something like that. right?
That's close enough, dude.
That is pretty good. It's pretty close. All right, so eventually we're gonna get there. So now we can get the full spectrum, I guess,
Yeah.
of dimensional opportunity. Yes. So we identify land as that's developer bandwidth, right? So what do we mean by that?
Well, we want people to build, right? And we want people to experiment with their builds because we don't know exactly what's going to create that sticky experience. We were talking about Roblox yesterday, and we're like, you know what? Roblox, no way that they had an idea of like what Roblox is today, like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? And that Roblox today is the result of supporting a UGC economy, a user-generated economy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really predict what comes of that.
Yeah.
And so that's the good thing. It's like we can't really know what's going to be the sticky experience in like a 3D environment in the metaverse. But what we can do is enable user-generated economy and let people experiment and figure out what is going to be a sticky experience.
1,000%. It's the same situation we're seeing in the programmability wars happening right now on Bitcoin, right? It's like, so many different developers have their own interpretation of how do we provide the right infrastructure, framework, and tool set for devs to actually implement, real decentralized applications native to Bitcoin, right? Like, that's simply what they're doing, is giving them options and choices. You could do it the OpNet way. You could do it the TAP/ICP way. You could do it the Arch Network way. You could do it atomicals.
That's right.
There's so many options now, right? But the whole point is, by introducing all these different opportunities as far as developer tools and frameworks, you're increasing the probability of Bitcoin discovering the next killer app, or like the ecosystem of Bitcoin, being the breeding ground for the next killer app. And I could make the argument, maybe you guys watching could agree or disagree, Benny's already kind of achieved that with TAP and DMT being the showcase of that, right? Again, like we said, we couldn't do any of this without TAP's infrastructure.
Yeah, that's right.
So I mean, this is genuinely something new that hasn't happened in crypto's time, and it's native to Bitcoin. Can only be done on Bitcoin, really, like from a physics standpoint.
Yeah,
because it's a proof of work blockchain,
right?
Actually aggregating real energy and like the scale of energy. It's massive.
Yeah,
right.
So I made it to the other side, man.
Well. I'm glad. There you go.
So now I'm heading west again, and I will stumble upon a gigantic 8x8, which is one of the larger parcels that I've seen in my research of looking for bitmaps.
So you don't know if it can get bigger than that?
I'm sure it can.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Meaning like it's completely dependent on
the size of like the Bitcoin transaction.
Meaning like how much Bitcoin was spent?
Correct.
Or transferred or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
All right,
man.
Let's see if I can...
Everybody imagine the Rocky theme song playing in your head because he's getting close.
Oh, boy.
He's literally running up that staircase in Philadelphia, doing the shadow boxing, punching the air.
Yeah, literally.
Just trying to get there,
Wait,
dude.
I think I'm there.
Oh, that might... No.
Oh,
is that it?
I think this is it.
All right, count it out, dude.
All right, let's see. Let me do some quick math. So that's 2 right there. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That is an 8.
Damn.
Dude. All right,
look at
this is it, dude. This is the big one.
This is a big one.
So there's only one of these in this bitmap, right? So whenever this land distribution event happens, I mean, it's up for grabs. Like every other parcel will be, right? But this is truly scarce within this like experiment, right?
It's truly scarce and definitely one on the more expensive side. But yeah, I mean, if you're like a savvy dev and you really want to take advantage of all this space, it'll be there.
Yeah, and I think we went through several bitmaps to try and find which one that like resonated with us.
Yeah.
We went through a lot, right?
Yeah.
So we knew we needed one like in the 4K-ish transaction just to like present a big enough opportunity for like a developer community to like be a part of like this very beginning stages of building out this framework, right? what else were we looking for? I forgot. We didn't want too many of like the what was it? It was just like an even distribution, basically.
Yeah, we wanted kind of like to have like the spectrum of the different sizes, so 1 by 1 all the way to 8 by 8.
That's right.
And then we didn't want too many like large, just like larger and like transactions or parcel sizes. So we did want a lot of these like small ones, so that everybody can be part of the ecosystem, right? Because these are significantly cheaper than this giant 8 by 8.
Correct. But still, like anybody with an individual parcel, regardless of size, can contribute value to this space. Like we said, these are all potential hosting grounds for these inevitable applications that are going to be developed and deployable.
Yeah. Right? And so this one's a 5 by 5. And the way that we're going to price it is we're going to set a price per square meter. And so, you know, pricing anything in square foot or square meter is a really common way to price like land throughout the world. And so we figured that we use the same mechanism, don't reinvent the wheel, and just like put some weird numbers out there and just like hopefully it sticks.
Yeah.
And so everything's going to be priced by square meter. And then the price is the price based on like how many square meters you're looking to get. So a 5 by 5 has a specific square meter count, 8 by 8 significantly bigger.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of scales up that way.
It's not the size of the parcel that matters, Will. It's what you do with it.
Oh,
damn.
That's deep, dude.
See, that's way cooler than that's what she said. I told you.
I feel like
I told you TJ says cool shit.
I feel like a woman has told you that once.
Wow.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean, so ultimately,
he's not wrong.
No. What was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. Something about square meters and price and.
Well, you were saying a lot of things.
Oh! I remember. So the bigger that you go, the cheaper per square meter it goes.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Yeah, man. So I'm excited to see this roll out. There's no set time frame yet. Potentially end of this month, beginning of next month, depending on many factors.
Oh, so many factors.
Yeah, but obviously we want this to roll out as quick as possible so that we can, again, get the community onboarded into a full spectrum of a bitmap, right?
Yeah, we really need to get this whole bitmap thing going because
I know.
I feel like this is the right way to do it in a way where it pings developers, it pings people who are interested in the metaverse. It's going to ping people who want to jump in and experience like what the metaverse could be.
Correct.
But the most important layer in all this stuff are the developers.
Yeah.
And so it's frameworks. It's like capability to do like unique avatars. Like, by the way, I'm the only one who holds this asset, right? Because there's only one of these, right? I have a little mouse in my mouth. I don't know if you noticed that, man.
I did notice that. And you got the green eyes, this means this is a zombie NatCat, dude.
Oh, yeah. Let me go this way.
Yeah.
I got a zombie NatCat, and I'm green.
And it's beautiful, dude. I love it. So this is an interpretation of like a 3D avatar for the NatCat collection, right? But this is going to be a framework also like you're describing.
Yeah.
Where anybody can come in and kind of leverage, how you can construct these unique 3D humanoid characters in avatar form, right? And you could do a whole different interpretation and style of a NatCat and block drop this to the existing UNAT holder base of a NatCat, and they could choose to mint that, and now you have a diverse set of NatCat identity, right? All stemming from the parent of the NatCats itself, right?
Yeah, so that's the whole point of block drops, is that the community could be like, you know what, I can do a better job than that. I'm going to attempt.
That's right.
And block drop a new asset to everybody, and then let the invisible hand decide.
Correct.
Who's got the cooler version of a NatCat?
Yeah, now we're talking about individual components of economics, right? Sustainable economic activity, right? This is what's going to keep people interested and motivated to be persistent participants in this ecosystem's growth, right? Because why? Because there's opportunity there.
Yeah.
That's what the metaverse is missing, is opportunity, right? And if we can unlock all the vectors of opportunity that the open Web3 metaverse technology stack can unlock, that eventually is going to trickle out and expand into the broader like pool of humanity, right?
Yeah.
And to us, that is the goal, right? We want to see billions of people in the metaverse in the future. And, again, they're not suffering based on that unfortunate geopositional locationing of like, RNG.
That's right.
It's like no matter where you are on Earth, it's like you have access to this virtual space. You can participate in that, and you can extract valuable good for yourself and your family and everybody else, right? Like that is the whole point of this, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a purpose worthy of pursuit.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, man. Like we were saying, there's like 2 to 3 billion people barely out there making it, but they have internet access, right? They should be able to partake here and join the nation.
Exactly. And let's be clear, this isn't like a thing that's going to happen this cycle, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a perception that's definitely off. Like a lot of people who own Bitmaps.
It's no different than Bitcoin. It's like
exactly, yeah.
Satoshi wasn't saying that this is going to be $1 million like next year.
No, he's saying maybe if enough people believe in what I'm saying, maybe 10, 20, 30 years from now, it might be $1 million. Right?
It's only been 15.
Right. Well, 15 more years, right? Or
no,
10 more years?
10 more years. It'll be $1 million.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. So that's the point. Is this is the beginning stages of a potentially multi-decade endeavor, right? So,
I mean, Bitmap is going to last forever.
Right.
Bitcoin is going to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be able to build infrastructure that lasts forever. That means decentralization of indexing. Thank you, Benny.
Mm-hmm.
It means creating frameworks that last forever, like block drops.
Yeah. And the ability for these native asset classes to the metaverse to be expandable, like non-arbitrarily, right?
Yes.
As more users onboard into the metaverse, like the ecosystem and the economy needs to expand, right? Not stay stagnant.
That's right.
Right. So that is part of the foreverness of the DMT framework itself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, DMT is going to be huge digital commodities being inscribed from your bitmap forever.
Yeah, it's important too.
And your commodities inscribed from your parcel. By the way, transaction data has patterns as well.
Yeah, well, that's like a much bigger like indexing.
It is
task, right? But it's not impossible. Like so,
we're talking about building the future simulation, dude.
Hopefully, hopefully not. I mean, I don't know.
Dude, we're gonna be like wired in the whole time, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, that's as you've been running around. This is it, dude. This is ground zero. So we weren't lying when we were saying like, ground zero of the metaverse is happening in real time. So yeah, the motto we're going to run with for the next forever, I guess, is we're actually occupying Bitcoin, right?
That's right. Yeah.
# occupy Bitcoin. That's what Bitmap has been all about. And we feel that the frameworks and the tools we're introducing is going to actually get us to that point where, we can scale this in a massive direction, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we got to like deprecate Twitter spaces, dude. We need to be hanging out in the 3D space.
Yeah. Okay.
We call it bitmap space.
Actually, there's a name to this specific bitmap, isn't there? We haven't even said it.
Well, I did say it once.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
It was very sly, dude.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have an official like unveil of this this specific bitmap identity, right?
Yeah.
Its brand, it's whatever, right? It's its own simulation, non-arbitrary.
Yeah.
So you piece those two together, and you might figure out the name.
Well, I mean, it's kind of in the corner too.
Oh shit! Well, that's made it a lot easier, dude. There it is, dude. It's hovering right there, top left screen, dude.
Yeah. It's the NATRIX.
It is the NATRIX, right? So it's a non-arbitrary matrix, dude. It is potentially that simulation that the Matrix kind of described.
Arbitrarily put together.
Yeah, correct. All right, so nobody has to do their homework anymore to figure that one out, dude. It's right there.
All right, yeah, that's it for us. Yeah, we talked about a lot, some DMT stuff, some hero stuff, AI, the metaverse. yeah, we're here to occupy Bitcoin. Hopefully you are too. Definitely join us. There's going to be more Twitter spaces. There's going to be more podcasts talking about this. And we'll let you know when the date gets closer to this land distribution event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anybody has any ideas just by watching us like run around and stuff? Like, this isn't going to be the absolute MVP experience, right? But we'll uncover those details a little bit more as far as like what exactly you should expect.
Yeah. And we're going to be posting podcasts like of us in the environment with updates and changes. And
yeah.
Oh, there you are, dude. I found you randomly. How the hell did that happen?
Where you at? Oh shit, there you are, dude.
Holy shit. What are the odds?
Right there at the end of the show, dude.
Wow. That's quite the laser beam, dude.
It's God's plan. Let me like stand still as you give like your final remarks here. And I could like cut you with my lasers as you do that.
Well, I mean, if you stand still, you're going to cut me with the lasers anyways.
All right.
Because of the animation.
All right, I'll stand still then. Final remarks, dude.
Well.
Are you ready? Are you ready for like...
Finally, this world gets put together by the thermodynamics set forth by Neil deGrasse Tyson.
What the fuck?
All hail.
You had to pull NDT into this, dude.
I had to, dude.
Damn, dude, really. That's going to be your first, like...
We got to get NDT in here, though.
Well, we'll just, like, create, like, a meta, dude. I don't know. It'll just be like the cosmos. It'll be like a portal.
Yeah.
Portal to the cosmos, right? You just walk through, and all of a sudden, like, you know that meme where he's like gliding through space, the cosmos?
Yeah.
It's like you're in there, dude, with him.
Yeah.
Like something like that, right? We could pay homage somehow, some way. We'll figure it out.
Or we can have him join the podcast so we can discuss how thermodynamics affects metaverse generation.
That is true. We definitely need to talk more about, maybe invite Melvin Vopson, who is
Jason Lowry.
Yeah, anybody who's kind of like teetering on the edge of like information theory, right? Where like, you know, this idea of all this information we're amassing as a species, like there's like a physical significance to it, whether we know it or not, right? Like, you know, so it's fascinating. DMT, I think, is part of that conversation. So yeah, we could definitely have that conversation. And then maybe while they're here, we'd be like, hey, how would you distribute your bitmap, dude, if you could? You know?
Yeah.
Do your own land distribution event. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for us. Hopefully you enjoyed this podcast. There's going to be more coming up soon. Stay tuned for more block drops, updates, blockpad updates, land distribution events, and all things Mscribe.
That's right.
All right, guys, appreciate it, and we'll catch you in the next podcast.
Peace.